Welcome to Reread. We're on book 9 of the Kevin J. Anderson Young Jedi Knight series. This one's called Delusions of Grandeur. Born Thol hires Zek to find his brother Tycho, who had been kidnapped in the last novel. Seems like the kids don't even care that he's been kidnapped either. The Young Jedi Knights don't at the beginning, because they're doing their own thing, having fun. There's like a comedic moment. Everything's lighthearted. I'm thinking, well, wasn't too long ago the IG-88 came in and ripped away Raynor's uncle, but oh well, have fun while you still can, I guess. That's kind of weird. But as Zek gets hired to track down Tycho, he then realizes that it was Born Thol in disguise. It was someone in disguise called, I don't know, Agent Wary, Mr. Wary. You know, he's wary of everything surrounding. Again, these are young adult books back in the day, so I don't really mind them. I won't judge them too harshly on some of the cheesiness in here. But Luke is again mentioned to be on another adventure. We don't know what he's doing right now, but he's off doing something important right now, and we're left out of it because we're looking at it from the children's point of view. Now, I really like this. I like that he and Han had to go off on an adventure a while back, and we never knew what became of it. What type of adventure was it? They're always going on adventures, but remember, this is from the view of the kids, and they're not doing things as adventurous as Luke and Han are. So again, I really like when they do stuff like that. This is one that kind of took me by surprise because I just totally forgot. I don't know why I forgot or how I forgot, but Lusa returns. And I just totally forgot about this. Raynor is in love with her, or he likes her. And I remember that, but I thought that was all New Jedi Order stuff. And I've just totally mixed my stories up here. But Lusa's there. She's talking about how she was a member of the Diversity Alliance. And I was like, wow, okay. And she's not that big a role in it. Like she's mentioned. And that one, 3-page chapter. And then once again, she's mentioned later on as Raynor sitting with Jason goes, I really like her. And you think he's talking about Tenaka, but yeah, I've just now noticed her. And he's talking about Lusa. And Jason kind of smiles and goes, yeah, I know. And he's like, I guess he's talking about Tenaka. And okay, so Raynor likes the, Lusa. That's nice. Which half does he like? Meanwhile, Zek encounters Dengar, tussles with him, outsmarts him, or so he thinks. Actually, Dengar puts a tracer on him and lets him get away. At first, I was kind of disappointed. I was like, I know Zek has the Force and he's becoming a bounty hunter, but he's already outwitted Dengar? Come on. No, he didn't outwit Dengar. It turns out that Dengar let him get away, made him think he got away from Dengar, but Dengar put a tracer on his ship and then comes back to... When he finds Tycho later on, Dengar comes to attack them. Now, Zek doesn't put 2 and 2 together until after it's over. Then he realizes, oh, I didn't really outmaneuver or outsmart Dengar. It was just he outsmarted me. I love that. All right, so anyway, there's a lot of connections to the Bantam stories here that I've just totally forgotten about. I mean, like deep connections. They mentioned the Black Fleet crisis and how this planet was instrumental in helping them out during that. They talked about the Sun Crusher. Of course they're going to talk about the Sun Crusher, right? They talked about the Krytos Plague, which is why certain aliens, they lost family members there. They turned against the Empire, who is mainly humans. And the whole thing that was going on with Rose Squadron, thinking, oh, the rebellion just wants to kill off aliens. Diversity Alliance members came from that happenstance, which makes sense. And again, there's mentions of the Death Seed Plague too, but I just did not remember how much continuity was really put into the Young Jedi Knights, and it just makes it even more wonderful a story just reading all those connections that aren't just like mentions. Like so far they haven't said, hey, remember Grand Admiral Thrawn? Thank goodness they haven't. But they're making these connections and they're making them with a purpose, not just saying, hey, remember when. So I was totally wrong on this. I totally didn't remember any of this. Anyway, and another thing I forgot is that Nola and the Diversity Alliance capture the last Imperial Guard who got away in the last book. There's one sole Imperial Guard who got away, but he gets captured by the Diversity Alliance. Of course, Kevin J. Anderson's going to wrap up his storyline by Nola's going to expose him to the virus and kill him. They're trying to make the Imperial Guard tell him where the Emperor may have stored this plague, because they need more of it. But the Imperial Guards, he refuses to answer them, and then he dies a horrible death from the plague that doesn't impact aliens, only humans. But the Imperial Guard finally meets his fate, and I had totally forgotten about that. I thought he'd gotten away for good. I forgot a lot about this second story arc, which I'm kind of surprised on. Anyway, Zek also discovers the IG-8 was recently made. It's not the original model. It's just a new refurbished one that they had found. Later on, we find out that Tycho had kidnapped himself to try to get his brother to come out of hiding, and which was it worked, right? Because his brother hired Zek to come rescue Tycho. But it was they talk about the whole IG-88 plot because this took place on the planet of the short story from IG-8's I Think I Am, or Therefore I Am, a short story from Tales from the Bounty Hunters. And Tycho has all the old files from IG-88, an old, IG-88 model that he completely wipes clean, and now he has his own little assassin droid that doesn't kill people because it's a young adult book. So they program him not to kill people anymore. And then they send him off to go find Borenthal. And, so now IG-88, or the shell robot of IG-88, is now a good guy. MTD gets his upgrades. He gets repulsor jets now. He can now translate up to 16 different languages instead of 6. But he's just a little droid, and I guess they thought, well, we can't just have him on the belt clip all the way. He's just a squat box right now. But give him repulsor jets, he can now be an independent character. And he and Loey have separated because Lobaka has gone off with Raba. And that's kind of how the story ends, because they go to Kashyyyk to go tell his parents he's alive, and then Raba brings him to the Diversity Alliance, and he's trying to encourage Loey or Lobaka to join. And Lobaka's not so sure about what's going on here, but he's open to hearing what they have to say there. There is a lot of excitement here, a lot of great stuff here. Like I said, I forgot a lot about this book and maybe the overall story arc now that I'm thinking about it. So for me, this is so exciting to read. And to be honest, I almost feel like they're getting better at this. I always thought the Shadow Academy was my favorite story arc, but I don't know, depending on how this one ends, it's a good one too. All right, folks, that's it for now. See you next time. Or maybe you could read that section of Jason going, I know, I like the horse half.